Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more for the 2024 Stone Burner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and we are now deep into the quarterfinals for the tournament. We arrived here with 56 players, and there's only 16 spaces available in the semi-finals, so we're going to be losing a lot of the field here. Only a couple of the matches played. Reminder is all the winners will go through the semi-finals as the two highest scoring second places will have fastest loser spots as well into the semis. And today we're going to look at quarterfinal L, featuring Mitchell, Cyclotouriste, Heretic, and Serbulent. First up, we've got Mitchell, who came top of a pretty competitive-looking Group A, with a couple of very strong players in there. An exceptionally impressive group stage. 3 victories and a second place. And not going with the standard sort of set of leaders. A lot of people have been going very battle-heavy. We've had games from Irulan, Shaddam Carino, even with Lady Jessica as well thrown in there for good measure. I mean, the Mitchell has taken a somewhat unconventional route to get to the quarterfinals, but it has proved to be pretty successul for them. And I do think it's interesting that people that do kind of pick those sort of style leaders because of Uprising can be very battle-focused. It means that they're possibly, with a lot of popularity for the likes of Gurney Halleck and Muad'Dib and Fader Alpha, it means that perhaps you're more reliably going to get those style of leaders to you, so it's something you can play for more. But definitely interesting to see them kind of going for that little sort of niche there. Maybe not winning matches by like 5-6 points with massive battle swings, but consistently getting the job done. Cyclotouriste also had a fairly decent group stage as well, with 3 victories and 4 in Group D, only losing out to top qualification to Epical by a single point, otherwise they would have had them beat on average points rating. Cyclo has rather gone down a very heavy spy route instead, playing matches exclusively with either Fader Alpha or Margot Fenring, so definitely a bit of specialization it seems for certain players coming into this sort of match, and again, seems to have worked Cyclo fairly well. I've played them once or twice, definitely pretty decent, and they'll feel, I think they feel very happy to get to the quarterfinals in a fairly challenging looking group here. So can they make an extra step and make it to a semi-final? However, that might be a bit of an ask, but we'll see how they go. Next up, we have the Heretic, who I'm pretty sure is the lowest scoring automatic qualifier into the quarterfinals here. Only 14 points scored, which doesn't look very impressive, only the 1 victory, but this was the incredibly close Group A, where there were just wins across the board. Very evenly fed out here. Heretic has been a feature of our competitions for a while, both with Ixima, with Dune Imperium, and now, obviously, with Uprising as well. And has always definitely been sort of a very stalwart in that sort of respect, usually doing reasonably decent in group stages, though yet to have a really heavy run in one of our competitions, if memory serves me correctly. They've played a variety of a couple of battle leaders, you know, Muad'Dib, Gurney Halleck, but also a little bit of Princess Irulan thrown in there as well for good measure. So, you know, definitely a more battle-focused, certainly out the leaders in this one. I expect that that's how this game will probably go down. I can see them trying to drive some sort of advantage from mainly battle rewards and conflicts. But as we've seen before in a couple of these games, it's a very risky strategy, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. The battles aren't really particularly convenient for you. People decide to play against you, especially if you're playing like Muad'Dib. People will actively try and block you. So you've got to be careful of that. And then lastly, we have Serbulent, who is our wildcard qualifier for this match. Originally a 5th place finish in Group C, still fairly solid, all things considered, though was unable to find that second victory to make a charge towards a top 2 spot, seeing as GVX had this so heavily locked down. It would have actually gotten directly to the quarterfinals, but they had to go through the additional game, which, to be fair to them, they did win, as you can see with Wildcard M, which was quite a nervy little encounter, actually, and left it to the death to try and get through. So I think they'll be pretty happy to make it through to the quarters. A semi-final spot for them, I think, would be a fantastic achievement, and I think they'll be definitely eyeing that up here. But we'll have to see how they fare. Alright, so table's getting set up here, as you can see. First play token is going to go to green by looks of it. That is Cyclotouriste. Which means it will be Mitchell in the red seat to draft first. So we've got the opening stuff here. Opening couple of contracts are pretty decent. The money contract, the immediate 2 Solari, very, very popular. People like that one a lot. Espionage as well, pretty nice, certainly for a lot of spy sort of style leaders. You can pair those up and get Espionage, get like 6 coins. It's pretty nuts. And then we've got the Imperium Rose, so plenty of agent access there. So Esteban will look pretty attractive at this with both Truth Trance as well as Treacherous Maneuver, which you can double bump if you trash it along with an Emperor card in your hand. There is one out there in theory with Calculus. So some decent cards there. And we've got Priority Contracts as well, which again, that with the immediate contract up there is going to be interesting. Unswerving seeing off the road here. As for leaders, who are we missing? We're missing Fade Ralpher, and it appears we're missing the old man, Emperor Shaddam, as well. So Margot, you're going to see is definitely get played here. The question is, are you going to see a Staban? It looks a pretty inviting Staban row for like for the second or first seats here. So we'll see how things go. So some choices here for Mitchell. Gurney's been pretty popular in fourth. It's not a bad fade road either. It does go for Gurney in fourth. Very similar to kind of the beast of old, really, in fourth position. Which I always told people said, Beast is really good in fourth, and it took people a while to recognise that was probably the case here. Let me just readjust the camera a touch here. Sorry, everyone. Professionalism at its finest. It's what you pay your shekels for, isn't it? You do pay us shekels, right? Sorry for the interruption there. So, just Mike doing weird stuff. So, we've got Muad'Dib in third, Margot in second, and we do have Staban in first position here, as noted. So, let's have a look at what we've got going on then. Opening conflict is going to be the Thopter Skirmish for the intrigues and a bit of cash as well. So, Staban opening up, getting hold of that money. No surprise there. No ring in his hand. Margot going Fremkit. No shocks there. Muad'Dib's drawn a bit of everything. Gurney's got faction access, but no ring. Double Dagger's a little bit awkward. He'll be praying that Muad'Dib doesn't go Desert Tactics here. Not the best row for Muad'Dib to go Tactics to either, all considered. And he does opt to go Arakeen here and just double draw. Obviously, he wants to get some persuasion together for some cards here. Might even end up using Diplomacy instead of Seek Allies here. Very possibly you might see that. Saving the faction access. He's got enough persuasion to do that now. Gurney's going to have to go Desert Tactics and trash one of these daggers, you'd feel. Seems kind of hard to turn down when Muad'Dib's on your right spot here, and does. Staban has got his Seek Allies. He's got 4 persuasion outside that, which is enough for Truth Trance. I would like to see Staban just go heavy towards to the Fremen here. I think is my preferred route. To try and give himself access to Truth Trance and then get access to shipping later on. I think is what I would prefer here. But decides against it. Goes Emperor instead here for another contract. I'm not a fan of this. He's going to deliver supplies here. He's trying to like greed a little bit, but I think you're better off just getting access to shipping ASAP with Staban 2ek here. And rocking and rolling from there. I don't like sending your Seek Allies as Staban 2ek as the Emperor. It's really hard to get any value out of the space going to there. So I'm not a huge fan of that, truth be told. No, I don't think that's the best route typically, but we'll see how things play out. Margot grabs a bit of spice, so she's off to espionage next round. She knows that Staban is potentially going to block up the spy there, so just wants to guarantee it there. Not a surprise. Maybe also just, she obviously can still go Fremen as well, but in any event. Muad'Dib does decide to use Seek Allies. He is not worried about saving the faction access. And Gurney will just go to Assembly Hall with his 5 persuasion. He'll feel happy enough. Everyone would be happy enough, I suppose. Picks up Devour. Should be good for later on. So Staban gets his Diplomacy replacement. Margot with 5 will take Treachery. A Treacherous Maneuver, you'd imagine. And then Muad'Dib with 6. Well, he runs into Charney. And he'll not be unhappy about that. Gurney, I assume, will go for Calculus of Power. Wow, peels off Stilgar. He actually went for went for the Unswerving Loyalty as well on top, and now Stilgar's out there. If Muad'Dib could get a hold of that, he'd become a big favorite in this game. You'd imagine, at least early on. So Red will win, and it will be a tied 3rd place for Yellow and Blue with 5 strength for peace. See what the intrigues pull out. Gurney gets hold of Reach Agreement. Spring for Margot. Pretty good. Inspire Orc for Muad'Dib. A couple of pretty decent intrigues there. Move on. Is this good combat for Staban? It's what he might have interest in. It's Arakeen. It's money. It's troops. You think everyone's going to probably just empty the garrisons here? Big truck outside. Been the feature of the past couple of ones of these, isn't it? What are you going to do? Anyway, so Margot Fremkits. Wadi pulls Charlie, just blasts away here. Gets an entry. He has 3 units in the conflict. Finds a good one. Goodness me. That's a huge, huge card for him. That is shipping access if he wants it. Might even go straight to Hager Basin and not worry about worms here, potentially. Gurney with his allies. Feels he's got to stop Staban getting to deliver supplies. He actually redrew Truth Trance as well, which is pretty nuts. Top-decked it. But that is denied. So Staban with Pasco Plan B here. It's secret, so it's dutiful again. I expect he will go dutiful again and just get it done dusted. Yeah, he does. Taking the harvest contract, so now threatening Hager Basin. I don't think the players can let him get that. We'll see. Margot with Siege. Putting her spies down, of course. She's got Treacherous in hand as well, so she's going to get an intrigue out of it. I don't know if she's going to put this troop in or not. I don't know. She's never using Spring here. I think she's going to. Maybe hoping to pick up like some swords off the intrigue she pulls, but you never know. Wadi with not much of a hand here. I think he's just going to go Arakim probably. And he'll probably put the troop in as well, I imagine. Guild Envoy's now there. And he's going to get hold of Guild Envoy while he still can. Yep, no shock there. Gurney's got his ring. 5 persuasion. Does Gurney Halleck just go Hager Basin here? If you just let Staban do what he wants, he's going to run rampant, you'd fear. The free spicy isn't bad. You pull your Diplo, you can get shipping yourself. It's so huge for Staban. It's Hager Basin, he gets a contract, and he puts a spy on counts, and that's it. He's straight to Swordmaster immediately. And I don't think you're going to raise 6 Solari in time to get your Swordmaster. It's not excessively likely. Unless you go Hager Basin to get the spice, get something out the conflict, and then look to go Spice Refinery. You're probably going to get past that first Swordmaster. It's going to get awkward. So, I do like going Hager Basin, personally. It caused a lot of damage to Staban, who obviously is playing for it. You can always put the troops in and then retreat them anyways for each agreement if you really want. You know, take the acquire contract or something. If Staban goes over the top of you here. You've got the insurance policy of reach agreement to go Hager Basin and put troops in. I think this is as good a spot as any to make this move. And Gurney Halleck is the person who could do it. He has this troop generation. If there's ever a spot to go here and make this move with any person, this is the spot. It's not one I would heavily recommend doing often. But I think he's got all license with reach agreement as well. Well, what else are you doing here? Is he just going to go refinery? That's disappointing. That is disappointing. What are you doing with this water is the problem. So, Merry Christmas, Staban. Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Takes me back to the old XMO days. Where, like, everyone's like, no, we must not let people have Swordmaster early in the game. Apparently, it's just going to have fashion in Uprising. So, Margot's going to reveal for free. Gets an intrigue. She picks Manipulate. Which is pretty significant. She desperately wants Stilgar. I think she can wait, though. She doesn't need to... She could play it to, like, get hold of, like, Southern Elders, for example. I think she should wait and hold that to grab Stilgar next round. Maybe just take a Prepare the Way here or something. Goes for a pistol instead. Marty also with 3. He will continue with the Fremen Bond. Smuggler's Haven comes off next, but Gurney could take if he wants. He was eyeing up Southern Elders. Man. And Staban Tuek nearly got this as well. Which is absolutely insane. It's one of Staban Tuek's best cards in the entire game. If he doesn't have the dagger, he grabs that too. Just Prince Spice. And so far, no one is doing anything about Staban. And he is going to be a problem in these next couple of rounds here. He is going to cash in. So Reach Agreement's going to get played anyways. Obviously to pick up the Acquire contract. Yeah, I really would love to see him go Haggard Basin. I just think that was a better move for him. He still gets the money, and then he goes to Spice Refinery and gets access to Swordmaster in a couple of rounds. Just think this... I just don't know what he's doing with this initial war, unless he's intending to go Desert Tactics here. He feels that Muad'Dib's going Fremkit a lot, I guess. That's about it. That's about all I've got here. We don't even draw the access anyways. Shadow Contest is next. More Thopter symbols now. Third one in a row. So Muad'Dib doesn't have to go Fremkit. He could go Desert Tactics if he doesn't want to draw, but he's got his ring, so he's going to be drawing anyways. So just going to keep cycling. Muad'Dib's going to do what Muad'Dib does. And look at Margot's hand here. What a draw out. She's off to accept contract here. Muad'Dib's going to get access to... Oh my god, he's drawn Charney as well. There's Muad'Dib. He's got Charney and Unswerving Loyalty. This is absolutely crazy. What a monster spot here this is for Muad'Dib to really cash in. Huge spot. Now, if Gurney had like a money intrigue, a way to get the money to get in front of Staban, then I guess fine. But whatever. Different people see the game differently, and that's why I lose all my matches. No, I'm not better. You are. So I don't know what Gurney's going to do here with this hand. It's not good. He feels he has to draw here. Stilgar's out there. Is he considering just going Assembly Hall and just trying to pick up Stilgar immediately? He might be thinking about it. Margot is going to manipulate her, however. This is what a spot for Margot. Margot might legitimately go gather support to get Deep Desert access here. She might legit do it and pay the 2 Solari for a water here. Arakeen it is. Gurney finds Southern Elders, which is an amazing pull for him, truthfully. Needs the access. Don't know what Gurney's doing here. Decides not to put anything in, which is very peculiar. Staban doesn't have to Swordmaster immediately if he doesn't think... Surely if Gurney had access to Swordmaster, he would have already have done it. So you can pretty reliably not go there. But his hand's not that great. He wants his Truth Trance. He wants the couple of cards he's bought here. He might just do it anyways and pull the Spy and try and find a better card. He finds his Signet Ring. He has eyes on Stilgar as well. Margot Fenring gets the worm in. And here comes Manipulate. Stilgar's going to go off to the side here. She is going to go to Assembly Hall here. And she'll be like, I'll be happy enough with second place. But she could, in theory, spring trap here to win this if she really wanted. I can't see that happening. Muad'Dib is going to... He's going to put this all in because he's going to retreat at least 2. And he generates 1 more, so he can liberally go for this. It's absolutely... Yeah, Charney and Unswerving is a ridiculous pairing. He's also got 6 Persuasion as well now. Gurney will go Desert Tactics. Don't know what he's going to put in here. He's got to put in at least something, but he's going to be really concerned about Steban, so it might ward him away, and he does. So Steban's going to just get a loose spice here. Steban just being allowed to do anything he wants here. Anything he wants here. It's a free spice. I mean, he's just going to put the spy on... he's going to put it on the Bene Gesserit. He's thinking of putting a Bene Gesserit to get in the way of Margot here. Because she hasn't put it there yet. So, just going to get in the way here. He's got Truth Chance as well, so... What is this? Change of plans. I mean, he's still using the ring. Does need to, obviously, take off the 2 spice units here. Bit of a weird move. I guess he figures he can go in wherever he wants. He'd rather see the next card, see what his persuasion's going to be. It's a massive persuasion. Should go priority contracts. I expect him to do so. Yeah, that's an espionage hit. No surprise there. It's me telling him to take off his spice. Good to know the rest of the table is paying attention, isn't it? Margot finds Seek's Ritual, which is pretty significant here. It's basically a free bump. She can discard the dagger as well for free here, so that's just have it. Here's a bump. Merry Christmas. So Muad'Dib is going to be able to retreat 2 of these troops and keep the swords. He then generates another troop in his garrison, which he can, and then he can deploy or retreat further here. Pretty wild, this. He might win this fight with just 1 troop here, which is crazy. I don't think he will. I think he'll leave it in just to try and give him some insurance here, because Margot might beat him with some intrigues here, so he's not going to take that risk. 6 persuasion. So I'm going to say he's being looked at. I think it's the pick. I'd be taking it, I think. At the very least, it's access. That peels off Spectacle for Gurney Halleck, who doesn't have any spies down. Obviously cannot let that go to Steban. So he'll be taking that. Steban's sitting there with 8 persuasion, hoping a massive card comes off here. But again, priority contracts is probably just a point anyways. And yeah, I think green is quietly looking very strong here. Well, now he's got undercover assets as well, so now he doesn't have to worry about influence requirements for spaces. But he's not going to bother buying that. He's obviously just going to get these in anyways. So, 5 for Margot. She just goes Spacing Guild favor? Oh no, she needs Steel Guard, of course. That's why she, yeah, obviously. Put it to the side. Hey, commentating's hard, kids. You do it. Well, Overthrow comes off next. Another insane Steban card here. I think Cyclo is quietly favourite at the moment, but Margot Stilgar is pretty good. There's a long way to go in this game. Everyone's got some pretty strong stuff going on. Could done down to some luck of the draw. Anyway, so Muad'Dib wins it. It's 2 intrigues for Margot. She finds stockpiling. Detonation as well here. She did not use Seek's Ritual to discard the dagger, which really surprises me. Now she's at risk of being secret stolen. I'm very surprised she did that. Or didn't do that, I should say. Spice Freighters is next. First conflict, which is not Thopter. Muad'Dib gets to pair Thopter symbols, by the way. That is insane. Steban would absolutely love to win this fight. I think, you know, having problems seeing there. having problems seeing the hand, I think. Gurney's off the siege. Get his hooks. Trash some cards. There's going to be a lot of violence here. Well, RD picked up Shadam's favour as well. I didn't see when that exactly happened. Oh, that would have been off the fight. Staban's just going to start hitting factions. You'd expect. Yep. Espionage spam. Go. Picks up priority contracts. He can't cash it yet. So it will reveal for a couple of spice. Margot's got to get her hand size down or go secrets. And that's what she's doing here. She's going for MKit. She's going to go for the Alliance. To go and take that here. She obviously needs the bumps with shoot stockpiling, so it makes logical sense to go for this. RD with his guild envoy. He's off to Deep Desert. And if he wins the fight, he can get a point as well. I mean, he's not going to win the fight. Well, I don't know. He might win the fight. With Shadam's favour as well. He's looking at 12 or 13 strength here. And Gurney Hallett doesn't swordmaster because he never had the access. Now, Gurney Hallett's got to put in more troops here, surely. Or is he not going to worry? Is he just going to let Muad'Dib have this? He only put in 2 troops at siege. He's got Devour? Wow. He's just going to let Muad'Dib have this. Not even going to bother contesting. That's pretty sick. So once we are playing Prepare here, the problem, Prepare the Way. The problem is he doesn't have 2 Persuasion with the Bene Gesserit, so he gets no draw out of it. Wow, and Muad'Dib, yeah, he's going to get virtually full value out of Spice Phrase, which is crazy to me. Margot's just going to take some cash here. Does draw. I'm surprised she drew. Does she not want to see any of these cards next round? Margot's got to know that Muad'Dib's going in here. I don't see any reason to put troops in. Seems ridiculous to me. So yeah, Muad'Dib is basically just being handed victory here. He's going to pair. He's going to get bumps. Just going to get everything here. I'm very surprised that no one's bothering to even attempt to stop this. Gurney could have made it difficult with Siege and Devour as well. Muad'Dib's got to put Shadam's favour in here. He feels he's got to protect this. It's too important. Wow. Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. No one seems to be particularly interested in blocking anyone, I suppose, this sort of game. Sometimes that's what happens. Generally makes some pretty fast matches. Anyways, Gurney with 5. He'll take... I imagine he'll take the Space Eagle's favour, and he does. Staban's still got an action, of course. You'll realise that he can't win it anymore. Does he just go Assembly Hall here? Oh, he needs the 2 daggers to get in front of Gurney, though, for the water, so he kind of can't do that. Do you just go for more contracts? Spice Refinery Water looks pretty good. I think it's about the only course of action he can take here. And he's going to probably be on recycling his deck anyways, so I don't think it's a big deal. I think accept contract seems reasonable. No! He's going to use priority contracts to gain persuasion. He wants that other truth trance. He's willing to give up the 2 spice for it, which is a bit of a surprise. Hello, 3 swords, by the way. Margot with another intrigue picks up tactical. And now she's uncomfortable because now she's at risk of secret stealing. But there's no reason to get anything in here. I think she's just got to, you know, not worry about it here. The odds of Saban Tuek going secrets first action are very low. 3 persuasion. She'll take undercover asset. Muad'Dib with 4 will take truth trance, probably. He might go thumper instead, actually. I don't know. I imagine he'll go faction access. Mercenaries off the worms. I'll be Maker Keeper instead for Stepan, you'd expect. Although he doesn't get anything out of it currently. No Fremen influence. So Muad'Dib's going to score 3 points out of this conflict. Just, there you go. He's got bumps in hand as well. Yeah. Very surprising. Might even, like, take a bump with the Bene Gesserit and then maybe bump the Spacing Guild so he can just take it with Imperium politics. Gurney is going to use Devour, though, for 4 swords because Stepan got in front. Muad'Dib will be very happy he put in the extra troop now. It makes me wonder why Gurney, if he's going to use it to take 2nd place, why he didn't put in more troops in the first place to just win the fight straight out here. Or did he not think that Muad'Dib had any battle stuff? Or maybe he's already had loads of it. A little surprised how Red played it. I think if you're going to do that, why didn't you just commit it all? I think Gurney's missed the trick there. We do see the bumps as you'd expect in Muad'Dib. He's thinking of going Emperor as well. Yeah, that's also fine. So they're going Bene Gesserit. You're probably going to get there eventually. Yeah, Heretic is big favourite now. Big favourite in this game. Needs 4 points. He can get 3 with factions, and then if he can just score Spice of Slow, this game's over. So, Muad'Dib, the only downside Muad'Dib, he does not have his Swordmaster. But of course, he can get it by abusing Imperium politics. And Margot might not go Swordmaster immediately here. She might greed this. So, this is a monster spot for Heretic here. I'd say it was playing out incredibly well for him. Protect the Sieges is next. And Stepan Tuek has that kind of hand where he doesn't have a ton of options. After our keen to see what's going to go on here, it is not impossible that Stepan Tuek might potentially highline every now and again here. And that spy tells you just about everything you need to know. He's going to pay 2 for the intrigue. He can do that with his ring. He goes to a faction spy. Tron Profits is just a point. But I think Stepan Tuek is keeping highline as action. Margot goes Swordmaster first. Very fortunate as well, otherwise she would have lost that. So, probably, I guess with her hand, not much else she can really do with it, so might as well. Now, Muad'Dib can still take the Emperor bump if he wants and go for Imperial Privilege if he so desires. No faction access in hand. He's got his ring. Desperately looking for Chani out of his draw pile. Both his cards are not bad, though. That's the only thing here. Both his cards, his intrigues, are fairly decent. So I wouldn't really want to be cycling in those at Privilege. Do you just go Assembly Hall, maybe? But then you're going to have Privilege and lift the agent off, so it doesn't really matter a whole ton. High Councils. Muad'Dib, is he going for his Spice Must Flow now? Wow, that is not a move I expected. He's at 8 persuasion. That is not a move I expected at all. But I think that's what's going on here. Gurney goes Council to get his Swordmaster with Public Spectacle. Stepan's going to block Assembly here. He might even just reveal for Overthrow. Stepan, I don't know if Stepan's actually going to play or not here. He might be looking up going Fremkit, actually. Is probably what he's looking to do here. But that's bad news for Muad'Dib. That is very bad news for him. He was desperately looking for Assembly Hall here. Margot will go Sieging and might even blow the wall here. No. I'm very surprised she didn't blow the wall. Oh, she's got a detonation. She doesn't need to, does she? Of course. Playing dangerous here, though. Could get secret stolen at any moment. Tempting to use stockpiling. Just to get the point here. Just puts it all in. Obviously, she's already got the alliance, but she doesn't want anyone else winning it and giving her problems here. That's why she's going heavy here. And Muad'Dib does reveal early and just reveals and takes overthrow ahead of Stepan here. Wow. Winning conflict is some swords. I do think he was aiming to go assembly hall there. I think that was his plan, but with it blocked, he just figures I'm just going to have to just reveal and take overthrow away from Stepan here. So, probably the best move he could make given his hand. And now Stepan's in trouble here. He's got 8 persuasion and doesn't really know what to do with it. It's not a great row for 8 at all. Gurney will take some bumps here with Spectacle. We'll see Muad'Dib. In theory, he can get the alliance when he wants, but now he's completely resourceless. This is a speed bump from Muad'Dib. Definitely a speed bump for Saban as well. Meanwhile, Saban might still be highlining anyways. Yep, and he is. So, Margot, though, has tactical option. Steban's going to chuck this all in, and Margot's just going to retreat her entire garrison. This is pretty brutal for Stepan to make this. Margot's just got to pray that no one goes, Gurney doesn't go secrets. That would be, she wants all of those cards. But I think Gurney is going secrets. Because where else is he going here? You got no intrigues as well, it's a point. Margot's greeted stockpiling here, and I think she's made a mistake. She loses detonation, which isn't a disaster, truthfully told. That's probably the least worst card she could have lost. Also picks up the crystalline, which is a pair for Gurney here. So that was a pretty profitable trip for him. But now Margot knows that Gurney's got detonation, which is pretty important. Stepan just goes for contract card as well, cargo runner. Not much else she can do here. Margot dodged a huge bullet there. 5 persuasion. That peels off Arrakis Revolt, which Gurney can't take here. And Margot Fenring is going to get second place here with 1 troop. Because she's just going to retreat everything here. I'm a bit surprised Stepan did it. Oh, he detonates. Is he going to detonate now? Or he's going to detonate to limp in here? He's just to get hold of a couple of spice. So, Margot might keep a second troop in now. I expect to hold on to second place here, which is totally fine. 5 persuasion for Gurney. Surely coordination is the way to go here. You would expect, and is. Nice looking card there afterwards. So, yeah. So, Stepan wins it. But, man, it was expensive. And, I don't know if he should have commit everything and just chucked it in there when he's got contingency as well. I don't think that was I don't know how wise that was. And Margot's just going to like, yeah, I'm just going to pull my dudes back. Thank you. And that's an ugly sight for Stepan Tuek here, who is in trouble. Was looking all right early, but now it's a very expensive victory. He gets a pair, and he gets a bump. I don't really know what Stepan's going to do beyond this. Margot Fenring's sitting on points. Muad'Dib just needs to get this game over ASAP here, but he's given up his Swordmaster to go High Council. Muad'Dib's in trouble here as well. Everyone's kind of... He was just hoping to get this game seen out here, but... I don't know, High Council was very risky. Didn't really like the move, personally. I was very surprised at the time. He needed that agent action and that action economy. Round 6 is Chome Security. Gurney's the only person with a dagger symbol. Margot just goes to Espionage. Gets her Sparnhager Basin ready for in a couple of rounds. knowing that Gurney, of course, has well, did have detonation, but used it actually. So Wardib's just gonna take what point he can here. He is scrambling. That pays for Imperium politics at least, so he's got that bump coming. So he can go secrets for point 8, and he can go Imperium politics for point 9. But he has no way to get to point 10. So Wardib is going to get to 9. And he's just going to pray that he gets the Spiceless Flow next round, and he just shuts his eyes and wins the game, and no one catches him. That's basically what he's hoping for. He's basically saying, well, as long as the same person doesn't win back-to-back conflicts here, he thinks he's just going to win this game. And to be fair, when you get 2 sets of paired conflicts, a lot of the time you do. That's the way I look at it. If you compare, you get 2 pairs of conflicts and a Spiceless Flow, you're probably just winning the game. And he will be hoping there are no bumps in the road. The secret sure is the place he's going to go. He's going to hold off for as long as possible to play Imperium politics. The players will know that blue is close to winning. The problem is that blue, I don't really see how blue's going to be... No one can really do anything about blue here. Blue's basically just playing solitaire here. As we used to call back with the Ixima, where basically you stop interacting with other players. You just do your own thing and say, I'm just going to win before you guys can catch me. Gurney's going to worm here. And he has to go for this. If Gurney can win this battle, he challenges Muad'Dib for the alliance and makes things very uncomfortable for Muad'Dib. Now, I don't know how much the players are going to actually oppose him here. Gurney takes the loose spice. He's off to a refinery. Gives up the Desert Mouse match. This is because he's off to High Council. Also wants to get his contract as well here, so... Makes sense. He's got an endgame point. He's got a point coming with contract as well. Margot's not in the best of spots here. She's got 2 points in hand, but obviously that's basically all her resources. Do you just go Siege here? And get that Fort Water together so that you can stockpile Freddy, or do you go Arakeen for a double draw? Double draw it is. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no Spiceless Flow though, she's short. Hasn't really got great debt for Spiceless Flow buying either. She's not really bought any 2 persuasion cards. I think she's going to look to go Siege with the Mauler pistol and double draw again here. I think that's what's being planned. Muad'Dib just goes secrets, right? Just got to go secrets while it's there, surely. Your faction axe is in hand. I don't think you can turn it down. You've always got mercenaries to recycle and intrigue if you desperately need to try and be above 4. Has to be secrets. No! He figures he's going to get there anyways. This is greedy from Muad'Dib. He also thinks I might need politics for defense of the space units. That's what's going on here. He thinks he's got to defend his faction. Gurney's going to go Siege here. I think he's going to blow the wall too. Unless he thinks he needs the troops to win it now. And Gurney, of course, is Spacing Guild favor in hand here. He might just reveal. He might reveal early to take the bump with the Spacing Guild here. And try and just triple bump it and just brute force Muad'Dib. But he's not putting in a ton more troops. Which thinks maybe he's not going to do that. Could be off to shipping. Could be off to shipping. Wow. Staban goes research station. I didn't see that coming. He wants to get priority contracts dealt with now, basically. It was his last card. What is this? He's going in for the fight. Staban's trying to win this. Taking much the fact that Red hasn't put in a ton of troops. all happening here. Well, I don't know what Margot's going to do. Obviously, again, was intending to double draw at Siege. Could go accept contract to double draw. Doesn't have to get involved in this fight. You go accept contracts. High Council Bene Gesserit bumps out there as well. That's a decent card for you. Try and get some money together that gives you a way of giving that Benny bump you need. I think accept contracts probably the way she'll go here, I think. She was setting herself up for that double draw. She needs that Spice of Flow, she feels. So I think it's going to be that. Oh, she's going to greed it at Siege. Oh, she's going to try and get it straight off. And misses. Undercover asset. Well, she will... Looks like she probably wasn't getting hold of the Spice of Flow, whatever she did. Puts in one more troop. What is going on here? I feel like she's trying to get second place. I mean, she also wouldn't mind just winning this, right? I can't see how Margot's ever going to try and spring the trap here. Peculiar stuff. So Muad'Dib's got a decision to make. Does he play politics to defend the alliance now? He probably has to. I think he's meant to. He's taken the Emperor bump, so I think he's playing to use politics to defend his alliance preemptively. Oh, goodness me. Wow, this is greedy from Muad'Dib. This is unbelievably greedy. Gurney Halleck is highlining. Oh, he pulls Spectacle. It's actually not a bad pull because he hasn't got any spies down. Wow, this has been chaos, this. So, Muad'Dib, I assume, reckons he's just going to get the Alliance back then? Does he have more Spacing Guild access? I need to see his deck here. Oh, he's thinking of Guild Owned Truth and stuff. Yeah, so he's thinking, well, you know, I can just take the Alliance back. That's what he's doing here. That's what he's thinking. Yeah, he can just go to the guild and just take it back with politics, or he just pulls Overthrow directly. I forgot how much faction access Muad'Dib has. He's basically got 4 diplomacies. Well, 3 diplomacies and a permanent power play in his deck, which is ridiculous. So Gurney Halleck's got a highline here. But unfortunately, it's not going to help him. He's not getting this alliance. This has slowed Muad'Dib down a bit, though. That's the only thing I can say here. Muad'Dib's still in decent odds. Here comes the High Council. He plays contingency so he can get the extra intrigue. That by Choam is 4 swords. But Heretic is if he's any alliance loss is going to be superficial here because he's going to be able to get it back one way or another. The Spacing Guild, it's under no danger at all because he's first to act. So as long as he draws any faction access, which is highly likely, he's going to be good here. Margot reveals for not Spice of Slow. Revolt she have to take is not what she wanted, though. Not at all. Going to 6. Cannot get into the trade. He's short. Covert, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know how Muad'Dib's going to be stopped here. I really don't. I really don't know. The only thing the table can do is stop him getting to secrets as well. Right? They've just got to block off his faction access. If he spends an action to get hold of the Spacing Guild, they've got to stop him scoring the Benny point. They've got to stop him taking the Emperor Alliance. Muad'Dib has no spice. So that does limit the spaces you can get to. The table can sort of work together here to try and prevent Muad'Dib from scoring points. And they probably have to. They just need time. They're so far behind here. Gurney Alec, very unfortunately, again, committed heavily for the fight. But it's not going to work out here. They're saying Green should put the sword on, but he's conceding the fight, is what he's saying. He's like, I'm not interested. Picks up Call to Arms, not the card he wanted here. So, Alliance will be taken temporarily, but it obviously will not last. He'll be going straight back here. Even if Muad'Dib's got to go deliver supplies to it, he doesn't care. Which is what he's going to do, because his Guild Envoy was top of his deck. We did see that. Spice Refinery is the tier 3 conflict. Only one mouse out there is Margot, and the intrigue to pair it in endgame has already been played. Guild Envoy means he has to discard a card, though, which is not helping him get his Spice for slow, but whatever. So there goes the... So he'll obviously reclaim the Alliance here. That's unfortunate for Gurney. Committed himself to obviously trying to take it, but it's the way it goes down. So, what is Gurney's next plan here? Committed very heavily, obviously, to win that alliance, and you know, I don't blame making the move. Just Muad'Dib had the defense for it, and that's the way it goes down sometimes. You know, when Muad'Dibs draw decently out of their intrigues, they're very hard to play against. He's got Fremen Bond with Unswerving and Southern Elders. But he's down on resources here. Wall is up, obviously. He used his detonation. No one has a way of detonating the wall currently at the moment, should be noted. But there's no way... The thing is that there's a standoff between red and yellow here, and that none of them wants to go to siege to blow the wall. Margot doesn't care as much because she acts last, and she's also got the spy on Hagar Basin. Red does not want to go siege here. But Red has very little good options here. Harakeen, maybe? Is there a way he can get 4 spice? Yeah, there's not much he can do here. Secrets, maybe? He does. Figures, cannot let Muad'Dib score here. Wow. And he finds detonation number 2. Well, that's significant. So Marn's just going to recover his economy here, which is in shatters. Or tatters, I should say. It's shattered. Margot will pay the spice with cunning to trash and draw. She could have trashed before drawing, by the way, but opted not to. Not even interested. So she's got 2 points in hand. And she knows that. Do you just go deep desert here? Oh, but again, the wall's up. Does she just go siege? Probably has to. Muad'Dib might have the intrigue, though. It gives him +2 water if he's got high council seat. Council's ambition, I think it's called. Or dispensation, or whatever the heck it is. The only intrigue in the game that gives water. And this unusual high council move might make her think that she has that. But I don't think that's going to stop her. No! Atomics! If he's got it, he's got it. Has to play Maker Keeper, obviously, for supplies here. She has to go all in. She feels she has to win this fight and win it big. Spring the trap in hand. She could potentially score 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 points here, potentially. Wadib's off to privilege here, desperately finding his spice for slow. He's short, he's only got 8 persuasion. Does he just trash weirding? Or did he get rid of mercenaries here? Mercenaries goes. He's looking for any kind of persuasion here. Secure spice trade is found, but it's no good to him. At least his opponents don't have it. And Wadib is scrambling now. He committed himself to the High Council, thinking to get his spices flow, but it's been blocked once, and he's misdrawn it another time, and now he's got no action economy. And Wadib is flailing. He's in real trouble now. He is just stuck stalling. Gurney research stations. He's going to have enough spies for Benny Operative here, because covert operation will give him the spies. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 persuasion. He has to get troops in here to give him persuasion number 9. But he might have to reveal here to get the spice must flow. Because he needs covert operations to reveal to give the persuasion, to allow him to have Benny Operative be worth 3 persuasion here, because he's only got 1 spy down. Saban's just digging through his deck here, just trying to score whatever points he can here. Staban is in trouble. He's not in a good spot here. He's thinking, do I really want to shuffle my deck here? And that's why he might go secrets instead, because he doesn't want to cycle his deck. That's what he does. There's Council's ambition, by the way. What I was talking about a moment ago. So that is Staban with +2 water if he wants it. I do prefer secrets here. I think this is a better move. I don't think there's any real advantage to cycling his deck. Margot's going to pick up the cash, obviously. So she's at 3 points. So she's looking to score... Oh my goodness me. Stilgar's worth 6 persuasion. She has a Spicer's Flow in hand right now as well. Spicer's Flow would be 4. Piling would be 5 and 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, Margot's about to score 7 points here if she wins the combat. But she doesn't have a spy down for spring. Wadib is digging desperately. He finds Spice Must Flow via overthrow. But he can't finish the game either. Wow, if Margot could just reveal it and win the game right now, and win the combat, she would just win the game. That is insane. Oh, she needs to get a worm in, though. She hasn't done that yet, so she can't. Yeah, she's stuck on 8 persuasion. She has to get a worm, and she hasn't done so yet. But if that dagger was a different card that gave persuasion, she could legitimately just end the game right now. So maybe a little unlucky for yellow, perhaps. That is nuts. They must suspect she's probably got stockpiling here. She's playing like she's got stockpiling. So if Gurney plays this, he's going to pull his spy to try and get... I don't know what he's hoping to... Oh, wow, I don't know about this. So he doesn't bother pulling it. But he's only got... He doesn't have enough persuasion for the Spicer's Flow now. Forces discards. It's not going to really affect... Well, it means Margot now definitely... Oh, Margot now just gets rid of Dune, so she's just going to pile him with Stilgar now. She's not even worried anymore. Staban's just pulling whatever points he can. Spicer's Flow is secure. Pulled his spy to do it as well. So Margot's just going Deep Desert here. And I imagine she's just going to dump it all in. But she cannot finish the game here. She's praying that Wadib cannot. Yeah, I mean, Deep Desert doesn't look to be in any immediate danger. She figures she's going to win it with the strength she's got anyways. Margot might think she needs to win back-to-back fights here. Oh my goodness, and look at this greed. Margot is playing like she has to win back-to-back fights here. That is exactly what she's trying to do by not putting these troops in. Goodness me. Basically bluffing here. She's got no protection behind her. Muad'Dib can get one in. He gets the other one off of overthrow, but it is stuck in the garrison here. He only has 3 swords, however. Cannot tie. Doesn't have free persuasion with Bene Gesserit. And Gurney Halleck is going to barrel in with detonation number 2 here. It's 10 strength. He's going to feel he has to. But it's not worth much. He's only worth a point for him is the problem. He's got no pair, no worm, and no cash. Does he put in the 10 strength here? He's got 5 contracts in hand now. Hasn't used any of them. What does he do here? There are worlds where Muad'Dib could win the conflict here. If he's got a load of swords behind him, there are worlds he might do it. This is going to influence Gurney going in here. Yeah, and that's why he goes in. That's why he just dumps it in here. And Margot Fenring is going to lose this conflict. Yep, gets all 5. And Margot Fenring's attempt to greet this combat has horrendously backfired. If she just put it all in, she'd have won it by a sword. And now Serbulent's tournament is surely over. Left herself with too much to do. Stockpiling will be played. For what it's worth. We are going another round, however. That's the only thing to note here. I actually wouldn't have bothered playing that right now. But I guess you might get secret stolen if you get second place, so... But Muad'Dib can't finish the game here, so yeah, disaster for Margot, this. Gurney gets a win for a fight that's not particularly beneficial for him. And I'll be honest, the only person this has really benefited is Muad'Dib. Who stays massive favourite now. But Staban is sitting on an endgame point. He's got a friendship at the Space Guild he can get. Muad'Dib just needs one more Spice of Slow, he feel, and he's won this game. And that's it in his hand. Blue is going to think they've got this in the bag here. And there's Margot's sword to find witness and contingency. It's too late now. Propaganda is the conflict. Which is absolutely perfect for him. Because no one can score points. And that's it. It's over, surely. Muad'Dib just Spiceman flows and wins. I don't see how anyone is gonna catch up to him here. And he knows it. And I think the table knows it too. Now, even if that is the case, there is still the matter of... There is, as I said, 2 best high-scoring second places that go through to the semi-finals. The only one of note currently is from Quarter C, Chimamanda, with 11 points and some spice. So there is a second place to fight for here. And that's going to probably be players' best efforts. I don't think anyone's going to realistically think they can stop Muad'Dib winning now. Surely Heretics just through to the semis. So it's a matter of trying to get to the... trying to get that the highest scoring second place now and hope that you get through, perhaps. Gurney can score a couple of points by going to the Emperor and taking the Bene Gesserit bump. I don't see any other logical move for him. So that's what we're going to focus on here, basically, now, is who is between red, green, and yellow. Blue has won this match. I don't see any way he is stopped now. So I'm not going to particularly worry about their actions. I'm going to focus on everyone else here. Unless something crazy does happen, I don't see how blue loses. Stepan just goes Siege. His hand is pretty dire. Margot's going to highline. She can win the conflict, and it is worth some points, it should be noted, by the way. She's missing all her friendships. And she's going to trash the Undercover Asset as a Emperor card to double bump this. She's going to hope, basically, she's planning to go Emperor, but she needs Spice. Margot needs Spice to go Emperor. And she doesn't have it. Yeah. How's she going to get to the Emperor here? It's been blocked. Remember, of course, with propaganda... I mean, she must be... Well, she's not going to bother. She's going to go Haga Basin and just worm it and get her bumps that way. So Margot can pair her match in endgame. She can score a couple of points off the factions, but it's only going to get to, like, 9. This is not going to be enough. Gurney Halleck's sitting on 8 currently. He's got Spicer's Flow in hand just... What's his best move here? Arakeen double draw off Calculus, it looks like. That's about the only thing I could see. He's finally going to cash in a contract, by the way. Neutral. Neutral. It's only 2 persuasion. He's got no more spies down. It's not a good draw for him. And Staban is going Deep Desert. That is them saying, at same time on the table, I've got disciplines, I've got counselors. Espionage. Well, needs spies down, of course, for her intrigues. Because she's expecting to use Haga Basin. I don't think it really matters where this spy goes. I think it's largely irrelevant. She's trying to think, where can I put it to, like, make someone's life awkward? It's not going to be particularly relevant here. So she's going to expect to spend one at Haga Basin, because surely she expects Gurney to go there a lot. Just trying to work it out again. Don't think it's particularly relevant. And she knows she's going to have at least 8 swords. Doesn't even really need Spring the Trap. It's kind of just sitting there doing nothing. Truthfully. Why don't you just pick up whatever spice you can? He decides that going shipping is better than going secrets. Probably because he needed the protect it. Say, Muad'Dib has long since won this match, so... So what does Gurney do? 2, 4, 6, 8. He's got 9 persuasion in hand. He doesn't have enough strength in the conflict. If he goes Haga Basin, he would obviously lose the strength in hand, but he would gain a strength via always smiling, so he'd be net neutral with using his ring. What else is there that's of any particular use here? Does he go Assembly Hall and try and find an intrigue that scores him something? I guess. Shadow Alliance would be a point. Opportunism would be a point. I think Assembly Hall is where I would go. I don't think the spice is relevant here. It's victory points you need, so Assembly Hall I think is the better move. Could also go Imperial Privilege. Could also go Imperial Privilege. But Assembly Hall, there's a couple of intrigues that find him points. That's not one of them. That is not one of them. So, Staban's just going to do what he can here. He can score 2 points out of this. He has no match for propaganda. He does have the endgame point of charm, though, so if he wins it, he will finish at 10. 10 and 5 spies wouldn't be too bad. But there's no prospect of victory here. Margot now can use all of her swords. She has 15 swords. Dearie me. So, yeah. So it looks like Margot is going to win this fight, but she's going to be stranded at 9. Gurney's got a Spice Must Flow. Staban did what he could here. But it has not worked out. All the cards he needed are elsewhere. Always a risk with Staban. Things can go bad. I think he played it reasonably well, but you always need a touch of luck here. So Margot will win. They're just going to throw swords at each other here. It's largely obviously meaningless. Serbulent slow rolling him, really. Just chuck the 15 swords out and be done with it. That's all that matters. So blue wins comfortably. And I don't think anyone else is going to make second place here. It's a confirmation that Heretic will indeed go through to the semi-final. Semi-final A specifically, we don't know any of the other players for that one at the moment. Also, Cyclotouriste will hold a fastest loser spot with the second place finish here, but with 9 victory points, I'd say it's very unlikely that it's going to hold off, but they do have it at least for the moment. I did note at the early part of this game, I felt like pretty much no one was really deciding to get into anyone else's way in this game, especially early on. There was very little kind of blocking going on. Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing here and allowing kind of players to potentially snowball. I thought it was going to benefit Staban early. Unfortunately, Staban's deck ultimately just wasn't that good. The thing is with Staban is that, alright, it's great to get like True Chance round 1 to like replace your diplomacy, but you still need some power cards in order to kind of get around that. And, you know, Muad'Dib getting Charney, and then getting that pairing with the Unswerving Loyalty to win a conflict with like 1 or 2 troops. Obviously, getting Overthrow didn't actually need to use it in the end, but still, it's not a bad reveal at all. And just having tons of faction access in hand, ran pretty decent with intrigues, and once you get a spice trade and the first intrigue, the spice flow was in hand. This game was pretty much in the bag here. Red took their shot in trying to stop blue with going for the Highline, the Spacing Guild, which was the right move. Had to try. If blue's got the intrigue to defend it, though, then there's nothing you can do about it. You have to at least try. If they don't have it, you can take the Alliance. It's a different game. But obviously, if they have the defense for it, then the game isn't necessarily, I wouldn't say, is over anyways kind of thing, but someone has to try, and you're the only person that can do it. It was a very committing move, definitely. And to be fair, some players maybe might decide not to do that and just hold on to their resources to try and win round 7, where, of course, tried to greed it and win back-to-back conflicts because they were just so far behind on points, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And then again, there are worlds where if they hadn't drawn that dagger, they may have found some crazy way to win the conflict and get a Spice's Float and just win the game outright. But it didn't happen, unfortunately, and they lost the fight anyways. And once Margot lost the round 7 fight and propaganda came off, yeah, it was pretty academic, sadly. So comfortable win for Heretic. We'll see him in the semi-finals. Any event, that is going to be all for this one. So thank you so much for watching. We'll have obviously more coverage of the quarterfinals coming up for you guys very soon on the channel. So take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next conflict.